Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective, Instant Reaction. The Dallas Cowboys just defeated by the Seattle Seahawks 38-31. And, valiant effort by the Cowboys, all things considered, with the injuries, offensively and defensively. There were a lot of people that thought we weren't going to be competitive in this game and tried to put, whatever media narrative you want to have out there, if Dak shouldn't be paid if he can't beat Russell Wilson, blah, blah, blah. And right now, Russell Wilson, in my opinion, is the league MVP and continues to play like it, even though he did miss some throws today as well. But I'll get to all those things. But while you're here, if you enjoy what I'm talking about, rock with the vibe, throw us a like. I appreciate it. I try to be as authentic as possible with my reactions and just how I feel personally as a fan of the teams I love. And I love the Dallas Cowboys, and anytime we lose, it's tough. But today, proud of the team's effort. I thought they had, they were in this football game. They take the lead down the stretch under 4 minutes to go, 31-30. And the defense can't close, as most of us who have watched this team since week one expected. Not only do they give up a touchdown, the deep touchdown to DK Metcalf, but they also give up a two-point conversion after the roughing the passer penalty on Tristan Hill on the first one that they threw out of bounds, and they get it again, and they throw it to Hollister and get the 2-point conversion. And we subsequently on the next drive throw the pick to end the game in the end zone when we're trying to rally. And it's just more of the same. And I will say, despite the injuries, whether injuries or not, the defense just hasn't played well. The margin of error for Dak Prescott and these wide receivers, because that's the strength of our team right now. When Tyron Smith come back and La'el Collins come back, I think we'll be more balanced run game, pass game. But right now, with your two starting, your left tackle and your right tackle out, the strength of your football team is your quarterback and your wide receivers. And the margin of error that those guys have to work with is incredible. For them to be in this football game when they're getting nothing from their ground game with the backups in there. We can't move the football. Some of that, a lot of that, you have to give credit to the Seattle Seahawks, Pete Carroll, scheming that up, saying, hey, we're not going to allow them to be bounced. We're not going to allow Ezekiel Elliott to beat us. Troy Aikman talked about the Eagle front and what they did. 3 defensive tackles in the middle, really plug in the run. The fact that we got nothing from the defense. And not only did we get nothing from special teams, but we got a negative from special teams. So all of that factors into your margin of error. So when you look at pass pro, when you look at, can I be off on a throw? If I don't make a catch here, the margin of error is so thin. And yet they almost pulled this game out. And so I feel good. Yeah, I feel good about the quarterback. Threw for almost 500 yards today. All you guys out here with the garbage time Dak narrative, it is what it is. You don't know football, period. Those of you who know football can appreciate what he did in keeping us in this football game. If we don't have Dak Prescott and these wide receivers at quarterback, and as pass catchers, we don't have a shot in this football game. But if my defense if anyone can make a play, we got them into 4th and 3, we allow them to convert. We get them into a 3rd down, we allow them to convert. We can't convert extra points now. We can't execute extra points. We can't get a 2-point conversion. We can't field a kickoff. I love Tony Pollard. I appreciate what the brother did at Memphis. He was a dynamic kick returner. For whatever reason, I tweeted this, the juice is gone. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's in his head now because he's been unsuccessful with a lot of his kick return opportunities. But he's on the struggle bus right now, and we have to make a change in terms of kick return. I've seen enough, because those situations can't happen in an NFL football game, especially against a team like Seattle, who's going to be one of the better teams in the NFC. And when you're well coached and you have good quarterback play, you always have a shot. Right now, I don't know if Dallas is well coached. I can't say that. When you repeatedly, Kellen Moore, Mike McCarthy, running screen passes over and over again against Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright, two of the best linebackers in the NFL. And they had that stuff figured out in the first half, and you're trying to force it. Even on our last drive, Dak threw the interception after he broke a tackle, and our offensive line broke down 2 straight plays on those last 2 where we were out of timeouts. And he threw the interception, about 6 seconds left. But if you look at that and that drive in its entirety, that last series, you can't run a screen pass there. They had figured that out all day. We had no success with the screen pass to Ezekiel Elliott. It's not there. Don't call that play. That's a play wasted. That's an opportunity wasted to get the ball downfield, whether it's Dalton Schultz, whether it's Ezekiel Elliott within the flow as a check down. I'm fine with that. He was effective there. But when you're trying to get the linemen flowing, Seattle was all over that. Again, KJ Wright, Bobby Wagner, they had that figured out. And so these missed opportunities also factor in with the coaching staff in terms of margin of error. They don't have much to work with. See, Russell Wilson can get away with a bad defense and bad all this because, when you're facing an opponent that has a lot of the same issues, it can buy you more opportunities. And, Dallas wasn't fortunate enough to have those. I'm not saying Dak played a perfect game, but unfortunately for us to win, he damn near has to be perfect. And this is Romo stuff. This is where we're at with Dak. We're in the Romo territory where somebody puts up 472 yards, puts up another 3 touchdowns, and it's not enough to win. The person has to be perfect. We can't get anything from the run game. We can't get anything from the defense. At least Seattle's defense can generate, somebody can at least catch a pick or get a turnover or get a fumble or make a play on occasion. But when Russell Wilson gets the ball back 31-30, did any of you, and I'm asking this question, respond to me in the comments, did any of you as Cowboys fans feel as though we were going to get a stop or somebody was going to come up with a play? I mean, Trayvon Diggs is trying. He made the play on DK Metcalf earlier in the game, or else it would have been really ugly. May have been 37-15 at one point. Yeah, we came back again down from 15. That's all well and good. And I know those of folks in the Cowboys fan base that are haters, because I've noticed majority of the haters are actually within the fan base, not outside of it. Those of you will say, "Oh, it's a more hollow stats or garbage time stats when we're down." Nonsense. Again, if that's the narrative you're going with, and I don't even like addressing this, but you don't know ball, can't have a conversation with you. But the margin of error, and that's a recurring theme here for me, is so slim for our pass catchers and the quarterback of this team. And so Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore, they're gonna have to have a real conversation there because there was too much trying to force there, even on his side. And again, you look at Kellen Moore, he's like, hey, we generated over 500 yards of offense, 31 points. Mike Nolan, let's have a conversation. But we knew what the secondary was coming into the game with the health challenges that were presented, especially in the secondary. And that leads me to the other thing. Where's Earl Thomas? At this point, and I haven't been the person beating the drum for that, but if the safeties, Xavier Woods and Darian Thompson aren't playmakers, they're jacks. They're just another guy. And I'm not saying they're bad, but they're just another guy. They're not there's nothing they're going to do over the top that's going to make the defense pay. If you get beat across your face like Darian Thompson did at the end, he's not going to recover and make a play on the ball. He's not going to jump a route. He's not going to figure anything out. They're just another guy back there. And if the defensive line, the defensive end say they're going back to 3-point stance, and they did a better job of pressure. Alden Smith had a bunch of sacks today. He was awesome. He's right in his case he's right in his case for comeback player of the year. But as good as the defensive front is, you have to marry that with the back end. And when you have people out there And I don't know what the situation is with Earl Thomas, but if they're worried about the locker room, damn the locker room, because the locker room's going to fall apart if you keep losing anyway. That's my energy. So you might as well try something different and get somebody back there that can read and turn the ball over, because you're not going to stop people. Even whether Earl Thomas is here or not, you're not going to stop people. So you might as well try to get turnovers. That's my energy. Try to get big plays, try to generate something, and then let the offense cook, let Dak cook. Let's get into tempo quicker. Hopefully, as time goes on, we get our tackles back and we can really start cooking and generate plays downfield. Because when Dak had time today, he carved them up. He was right there with Russ, shot for shot when he had time. He just doesn't. The tackles, Brandon Knight doing the best that he can. We had to go to Zach Martin. For those of you who didn't see it, Tyler Biotish came in at center. Joe Looney kicked to right guard. Now Zach Martin kicks to right tackle. That's what, 3-4 transitions that occurred of people that needed to be replaced. 3 transitions. So now Zach Martin, who's all world at right guard, is playing on the edge out of need. And that's not what he does. That's not his strength, or else he'd be there. So we're trying to survive on the offensive line. So if we can get those guys back, we definitely got to let Dak cook. And that doesn't mean going away from Zeke and Tony Pollard. That just means they get their touches in a different manner. Seattle, better team today. Deserved the win. Russell Wilson is my MVP right now of this league. He's been phenomenal, especially with what he's had to work with. But when you have consistency in the coaching staff, Brian Schottenheimer, Pete Carroll, Russ Wilson, and what he's developed and the chemistry he has with Lockett and DK Metcalf, they have a special thing going, and they're allowing him to get going earlier in these games. And that's where I want the Cowboys to get to with our group when we can protect our quarterback appropriately. But this game was pretty straight up and down when you really look back at it. And I'll review the tape over the week, but tough loss as always. But when you're a Cowboys fan, you're used to these things. So 1-2, got to beat the Browns next week. It is what it is. I don't know how we're going to block Myles Garrett, but the coaching staff has a week to figure that out. Joe Philbin, Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore, best of luck to you. Peace. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this, but congrats to the Seahawks on another win, 38-31 over the Dallas Cowboys. Peace.